What's up, guys? It's me. And I know it's dark as fuck in here, but that's just the way that I live. So, sorry. I don't even have any more lighting in this room right now, unfortunately, because the light bulb is out. And that's the only one that I have, that super bright bitch over there that isn't putting out light over here. So, I'm just going to do the best I can to show what I've got to show here and hope that it comes out okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, obviously we have a blade set up. Obviously I'm not going to be soldering in this area because, well, this is my desk where I work. But I wanted to get this set up so that we could at least get an idea of what I do when I set up to put blades on. I've got two little vices here, and you'll notice that one is sitting up on a pop lid. So, yeah, that's the makeshift way of glove builders, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. So, that's to sit the blade up higher than the tip. And the tip that I have in here right now is the index tip. So you can see how I've got it lined up and approximately what I've got going on. So if I was going to solder, this is my setup, and then we've got our solder sitting here. Now, that's the solder that I use, just so you know. So there it is. Works really well, and essentially what you're going to do, and I can't do a demonstration of this yet, but trust me, I will when the time is right, and the time is coming. Alright, so propane, there we go. That's what I use right there. And as far as the actual nozzle, it's one that came in a kit. Pretty simple. And I turn this on pretty low when I go to do it, you know, not too high. You don't want to go running at full blast or anything. So basically what you do when you're going to solder your blade, you want to make sure that you have the right tools, of course, and you have your setup. And then once you do, you're going to heat mainly the blade section right along the whole entire blade. Trying not to worry about hitting the copper piece, because it'll heat on its own, trust me. It'll get hotter than you want it to. So mainly focus your heat along the side of the blade, and once you get it hot, what you want to do, what I do, is I start from the back and go all the way forward, and it should just leave a nice little line of solder going right across if it's hot enough. Now, you want to put the heat back to it, keep it warm, run it across it again, and you should get another line of solder. Don't stay in one place too long. When you move your solder, keep it moving. You don't want to move too fast, you don't want to move too slow. It's one of those things you have to kind of get a feel for. And as you do, your solder should stick right along this very edge where the blade is at, right on the tip. Now, getting it on the front of the blade can be a task, but you'll want to do that too. You want to try to get right at the very front edge. I usually get that the very last part. And then once that's done, you'll have one side done. Then you just do the other side exactly the same. You're going to heat up the blade, not the actual tip, and you're going to run it across there. Now, one other thing that you want to keep in mind is that there are a few things to look out for when you're doing this. And that's, once you've got your blade on, you still got to get a ringlet on here, and you're going to have to heat this piece again. This is where we get into trouble, and this is where I recommend that you use flux. Now, I don't use flux to put my blade on because the solder that I'm using here has it has plenty of flux already in there, so that's not really necessary. I mainly just grind down along the line where the actual blade is going to sit, and that has to be very, very clean, and so does the bottom of the blade. You have to make sure that they're very, very clean in the areas where you're going to solder before you go to put it on. And then you should be set. Now once you got your blade and you're ready to put your ringlet on, you're gonna have to heat this shit again. Now some people put the ringlets on first, blades on last. Me, I go blades first, rings last. And that has to do with a certain portion of my assembly. When I go to assemble it, it's going to be assembled several times, and I have to assemble it with the blades on without the rings first. And I do that for a reason that I'm not going to go into right now, but I will later as I continue to work. So one thing to keep in mind though is when you go to put the ringlet on and you go to heat this, it's going to get hot, and if you're not careful, the solder that you've laid for your blade will get hot and you will get a blade slide, or it may just fall off. Me, I ended up with a really killer blade slide the first time that I went to solder, and it was terrible because I had everything good. It was all nice and done, looked pretty, and was exactly where I wanted it. And then I went to put the ring on and the whole blade slid literally over to the side of the fucking piece. Okay? So you got to be careful when you heat it after you've put the blade on. But essentially, this is the setup that I use, and I would use it outside. You'll get to see me actually do this soon as I get a blade that I'm willing to put on here. This blade is a Mark Petrie blade, which is a fine blade, but it's a bit too thick for what I'm looking for, and it just doesn't have the properties that I want. So I hope that helps you out with your soldering, and if you want to know where I get this stuff, just shoot me a PM and I will tell you exactly where to get the vices, where to get the solder, and where to get the propane. And I'll link you places where to get it. So that's that, guys. Hope that helps some of you guys out there that are just beginning soldering. I know that it's not nearly as good as having a hands-on actual experience, or with me actually doing real soldering on screen. But that is coming, my friends. I just have to get myself together here. I'm very picky about this, because if I'm going to go through this much trouble to get these pieces down, then you can guarantee that I'm going to make sure that my blades are right. Now, one more thing that I want to mention. You don't want these to be too tight, okay? It's okay for them to be, you know, snug, but don't tighten this stuff up too tight, because number one, you're going to put marks on your pieces, and, you know, you can't get these tips in there but so tight. See, that just popped right out. And that's the way you want it, because if you don't, then you're going to ruin some of the fine details that you put in to your pieces by smashing them. So, and just so you can see fine details, that's basically what we got with my index finger here. Index tip. It's got the shaping that it should have as far as I'm concerned, and it's actually pretty good example of an index tip, actually. You know, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. So anyway, I know this shit's dark. I kept it that way on purpose, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, this is my Castlevania shit I listen to, guys. Been wanting to show this for a while and haven't had a chance. My music collection on iTunes is actually pretty hardcore. I've got a ridiculous amount of stuff on here, really. Let's see. We'll go to, how many songs do we have on this Michael T. Cecil? Well, let me see if we can get it. Wow, think about that shit, guys. Holy fucking shit. How'd I get all that crap on here, right? Yeah, it's the sign of a guy who has nothing better to do than listen to Castlevania shit all day long. And believe me, I love my Castlevania music, guys, in case you didn't notice. So, and I have a ton of it. I have like every Castlevania soundtrack ever. Plus I've got a lot of other cool video game soundtracks. If you guys want to check it out, I'll show you real quick. Can't see what the fuck I'm doing, so you'll have to forgive me here. Let's see. Here we go. Video game. Wow, look at that, guys. Who would have thought? I don't know how many of you guys are as geeky as I am, but in case any of you are, there you have it. This is my geekdom. These are the songs that I listen to while I build gloves, guys. This is my artistic songs. These bring forth my art. So, just thought I'd show you. Got a lot of video game music, and I enjoy it all. Wow, I have no idea what the hell that is. So anyway, there we go. My average 10 to 11 minute video, and I'm gonna go for now. Hope you guys enjoyed what I had to show here, and I'm sure that we'll have some more to put up here soon. So just thank you guys for watching as always, and I'm hoping to put up some good stuff here soon. So that's it. Bye-bye.